Whiskey Wednesday. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Master and Drum Whiskey Room on another beautiful Whiskey Wednesday night here in the Whiskey Room. Tonight we have a lot of samples to go through, which will be a lot of fun, a lot of bottles that people have been interested in, and can't wait to kind of go through some of these. I got a beautiful little camera shot here of a lot of our samples there. So you guys will get to, we'll kind of go through those. This is the new bottle cam. I figured I'd kind of repurpose my second camera for a nice bottle cam. So I think that looks kind of cool. You guys can see the labels up close. And we'll get into all of those beautiful whiskeys here tonight, including a blind tasting challenge I got from my buddy Darren Clary, one of my patrons. So yeah, it's going to be a challenging but fun night. I have a ton to go through here. Yeah, what happened, kind of last week with heading out to Rebecca Creek and Still Austin, kind of talking about those experiences, going through, what else? Yeah, a lot of stuff. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We have so much news to go through, too. A lot of cool bottles kind of coming out to the forefront here that we're going to be talking about. We have Rare Bird's new Raconteur Rye. I'm going to try that one. This beautiful bottle, which I cannot wait to try, which is... this Two Souls double-barreled pumpernickel rye. Now this is a local product here in Ohio. This is from Middle West Spirits, but the fact that they threw this in a barrel that held a hazmat-proof rye whiskey, cannot wait to taste that tonight. So we'll get into all this, but first, let's say hi to everybody here. All right. First and foremost, we have Mr. T. Jarrett. What's going on, T. Jarrett? Nice to see you, man. Christopher Nelson, Hump Day. It is Hump Day. EJ is here. Justin Jenkins in the house. Sandy Chima. What is going on? Mark S. is here. Jared O'Connor. What's going on, Jared? Stephen Walt is here. One of the best beards in the business. Nice to see you, buddy. 96 Millie Man. Hey. Excited to hear about that Rocketeer Rye. Yeah, me too. Kim S. is here. What's up, Kim Schwartz? May the Schwartz be with you. That's how I say it. Russ L is here. What's going on, Russ? Jeff and Darlene is here. Oh, Jeff and Darlene. I see you. Very cool. Joey B. Cheers to all the Master Drum family. Love it. Josh Fritz is here. Good evening, all. Interested in that Fox and Odin Double Oak. It's $100 around here. Yeah, we'll get into that one, too, a little bit. I think it could be a new Double Oak favorite, possibly. I tried it a while back. Haven't revisited it since because I've been waiting for it to arrive here in Ohio, and it finally arrived. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Cheers, all enjoying some M&J Army Rare character tonight, man. Awesome pick. Yeah, well, Dr. Sped, is that the rye or the bourbon that we did? Let's see. Dunny's here. Jeff Perkins. What's up? Slapshot is here. Michael Speakerman is in the house. We got Dunny. Tim Cornet. Oh, Kim S. is there. Okay, just catching up, guys. Bo's Wine Guys in here. Truman, William Wiley, Bourbon Pointers, enjoying an E.H. Taylor Rye for the stream tonight. Love it. James Lay, let's freaking go. We are here. Chad Hurry, he's here. You want to go where everyone knows your name. Cheers. That's right. Now everybody knows your name, Chad Hurry. Hurry up. I'm sure you hear that all the time. Terrible joke. Karen B. Ford is here. Let's see here. We have, man, Rare Breed is here. Callie Drams, Abrod, Grant, Scotty Alexander, Scotty Don't. Wade Waters here. He said he had the Forgate the other night. Can't wait to hear what I say about it. Yeah, we'll see. I had it for the first time last night. Took a little sip, but felt like I needed to open up, so I wanted to try it live with you guys. I haven't tried it since. Roger Reese, cheers from Ohio. What's going on, Roger? Nice to see you, bro, Ohio. Nicholas is here. Hey. Tyler Smith, look forward to what you think of that Hell Diver, Jason. I wanted it so bad because I love what Found Art does, but didn't catch the drop because of work. Yep. I do believe they dropped some more today on Shared Pour. However, I don't know if they're sold out or not. I don't know if anybody can update that in the chat, if they're all gone or not. They sent me a sample. Nowadays, I tend not to buy anything until I try it first. So if I missed out, that kind of sucks, but we'll see how it tastes. I've heard a lot of good things so far about it. Ian Epp is here. Hope you all receive those Peerless picks, cracking them open tonight. Oh, that's right. All you guys getting the Peerless picks right now from Master Journey. Hopefully you can start sipping on those a little bit. Jay Porter is here, and I just got more people to catch up with. Holy crap. Okay. Shared Pour sold out of Hell Diver in a minute. Oh, my gosh. Was it that fast? Holy crap. Hey, Katie Turk is here. Ethan is here. Both sold out of Found North. Wow, man, it went fast. Helldiver got gone quick today as well, says 96 milli, man. Yeah, I didn't get... Guys, I've been just hitting zero on every damn raffle I've been in the last like 2 weeks. Nothing. Niente. Just no luck with that shit. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. I was in 3 sneaker raffles, lost all 3. I was in actually 4 sneaker raffles, lost all 4. Helldiver didn't win anything. Yeah, it's been a disappointing couple weeks trying to win stuff. It just sucks. It's like, damn it. I can't get lucky with that stuff. OHLQ, you know, when they dropped the winners, you know, a couple weeks ago, I didn't win shit again. I am never lucky. Some people just have a knack at winning raffles. It's amazing to me. And I am not one of those people for some reason. But I'm convinced no one wins sneaker raffles. I've won one before. It's not so much a raffle. It's kind of the sneaker drop that you do in the sneakers app where you can try to win it. It's always the most sought after ones that you just never win. Shoeless Joe Jason, the military 4s this weekend though. I know 96 millimeter. I'm thinking about those. But man, I was trying to get the Kobe Italian camos. I was trying to get the trainers, the what's his name? The trainers from Travis Scott. I tried to get. I entered like 3 or 4 different raffles to get that. Didn't get anything. So, oh well. And I'm not paying resale on those Travis Scotts because they're like through the roof. So, all right. So let's start tonight with. I'm gonna get into this Fox and Odin double oak first because I feel like it's a good proof point. Kind of start out with it, and we can talk a little bit about this one as we get into it. Let me know what you're sipping in the chat. Thank you for adding a preparation to my bottle here, Fox and Odin. There we go. Let's get this poured. Ooh, that's a hefty pour. Let me put this bottle front and center here for you guys. There you go. So if you guys have never seen this, this is Fox and Odin, and this is actually a brand from Joseph Magnus. This is a Joseph Magnus owned brand. I don't know if a lot of people knew that when they see these bottles sitting on the shelf. But all I can tell you as far as the brand itself here, we can kind of get into this because for whatever reason, I could not find the link I'd found earlier to explain about this. Let's see. Odin. Let me look it up here real quick for you guys. All right, so Fox and Odin whiskeys. There we go. About us. That's what I want to know. Fox and Odin was founded by a new generation of makers to honor and preserve the masterful legacy. Blah, blah. It is a nod to Joseph Magnus, a Gilded Age distiller who spent his time, fortune, and most treasured days up north in Odin, Michigan, and whose notable blending and finishing techniques are used by our distillers today. All right, so let's go to what is the whiskeys. Let's go to the double oaked here. That's the straight bourbon whiskey. They have a single malt, if you guys have seen that one. They also have a rye. And here's the double oak. The double oaked is 99 proof, so a nice little proof point. Start things off. This is a blend of 8 to 15-year-old bourbons. So 8 to 15-year-old bourbons, and it's a blend of 21% rye NGP and 36% rye NGP, all intertwined in here. So even though there's no age statement on this bottle, it actually does have some nice ages in here, and I'm kind of here for it. I'm kind of digging it. There's the label. You guys can check it out. And yeah, this is about, I think I paid about 86 or $100 or something close to that amount for this bottle. So let's get into it here. Had that for the first time last week, and it exceeded my expectations. Great pour. So as Kenny made a post accusing Fox and Odin of adding oak extract to double oak, that looks dark. I think it's more so the camera than anything. I could kind of put the whiskey here next to it, and you guys could see the color of the whiskey there. It's not super dark, but it's dark enough. There you go. All right. So I had this for the first time at the Bourbon Junkies Pours in the Park. Fox and Odin was there, and I was, kind of walking around tasting some stuff from different distillers, and this was a very pleasant surprise from what I remember. So for a while, there was some sketchy account on the R Bourbon subreddit that would always hype up Fox and Odin that was super sketchy and inorganic. Weirdly put me off the brand. Interesting. Yeah, can't say I'm not on R Bourbon too much because it's a lot. it's a lot of stuff going on in R Bourbon. Okay, let's go down here. All right, back to the comments. Jason, just got the 2 Souls on your recommendation and love it. Sealbox has the ported pumpkin cast strength, but oh, the money. Yeah, it's pricey. All right, guys. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for helping me get to 100,000 subscribers, and we're gonna keep this thing rolling. Cheers, guys. Here we go. That is delicious. That is exactly what I remember. Very, very rich caramel, some chocolate, maybe a touch of like a dark fruit note, but it's mostly like the spice and orange that you're kind of accustomed to with MGP, but it's all just covered in just rich like caramel, toffee, vanilla. That is really good. And that's making an impression because earlier today, I was down at High Bank helping OHLQ pick some barrels from High Bank for the state, and got a double oaked. We got a double oaked. We got a couple of finished casks, and I don't think I could say what they are now or what they are yet, but those barrels coming soon to OHLQ, they're really, really good. So, so the fact that I had those today and this one is still standing out is a good sign. I tried so much Pours Apart. I don't remember specifics as JG. This is really good. Like, did anybody know that this was a Joseph Magnus product? Anybody? That is a really, really nice double oak bourbon. I'll take this over Woodford Reserve double oak any day of the week. I like this more than Elijah Craig Toasted. Now, the price, for this is definitely higher, but you are getting 8 to 15-year-old whiskey in here. But I just feel like if you like double oak bourbons and you like to kind of sip on it as you go, kind of slowly, this might be a bottle you can invest in and have it for a little while and just kind of enjoy it. I really like it a lot. Again, I bought that bottle. I like to, be transparent. They did not send me anything. I saw this bottle and remembered how much I liked it at Pours in the Park, and I grabbed it because I wanted to make sure. I'm like, was that the bottle that I thought was that good? So it is really good. Cheers. Has anyone had the High and Wicked Jury yet? Have not had that one yet, Bourbon Bill. Love the double High Banks. Yep. JG, love it. So you're telling me there's a chance. Okay. Fox and Odin is 100% here in Virginia. It was hard to pull the trigger on that one. Yeah, $100 is tough for that. I do wish that this was more comparable to like Woodford's price point, like being a $50 or $60 product rather than $100. I understand there's 8 to 15-year-old whiskey in here, but if that's not, it's one of those things where it's amazing to me how much more price now factors in to, and it goes both ways. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You have some folks that love age statements, and they think that anything over 10, 11, 12, 13 years old is worth waiting online for, seeking out, spending a bunch of money on, flipping it, doing all that because of a high age statement. However, when it comes to these in-between brands, people will leave something like this on the shelf for Woodford Reserve or something else double oak that's half the price, even though this does have older whiskey in it. So I don't know. It's kind of like this weird I feel like if it's limited and has an age statement, then people go crazy for it. But something like this, where it's really good, very well blended, a lot of texture and flavor, people will probably be more willing to leave that on the shelf because it's not so much a known brand, and it's like double the price, almost double the price of like a Woodford or I don't know, what are some other popular double oaked bourbons that are kind of available? I mean, Elijah Craig Toasted, I mentioned. I'm like drawing a blank here for double oaked. Is there not that many double oaked that I can't think of? Oh, you have 1910. That's a nice double oaked product. That's about $60-65 you'll spend on that. I mean, there's a lot of finishes, and I'm not talking like finishes like in sherry or wine or any of those finishes. I'm just talking about a straight up double oak product from one New American oak cask into another New American oak cask. So those are the ones I'm kind of, talking about. Todd Ritter, Kelvin 60. Yes, Todd. Yeah, for $220. Yeah, I could, it's crazy. The Pursuit United Double Oak has a completely different flavor profile than the Fox and Odin. That one is all cake batter and butterscotch. This is dark caramel and candy. Peerless Double Oaked. That's a good one. Peerless Double Oaked. You know what? That Peerless Toasted I have is really good. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a comparison here. Let me see if I can grab that one. I know it's toasted. Wait, is this right? Oh, no, that's my pick. Hold on 1 second, guys. Going in the whiskey room. All right, double oaked. All right, so here's the Peerless. Oh yeah, 2XO does those as well. Actually, yeah, 2XO. That's about a $100 bottle. You could probably maybe compare that to the Fox and Odin as well. A little bit of a different process. This is more of a traditional, just kind of dump it in a barrel. So here's the Peerless Double Oaked. Let's see what we got here. We'll kind of put those next to each other there. You guys can check those out. There you go. So Peerless Double Oaked. Like I spilled a little bit on the front of the bottle there. No big deal. All right. Oh, the Peerless Double Oaked actually doesn't smell great. Oh my God, the Fox and Odin is way sweeter. And if I remember correctly, when I first tried the Peerless Double Oaked, I thought it was very tobacco forward. I thought it was very spicy, a little bit more tobacco heavy, much different than a lot of other double oak products out there. And I think that's what I'm smelling. Absolutely. That is sweet tobacco up front. And there's this little bit of a sawdusty back end oak note on the very end of that one, which I can't make up my mind if it's good or bad. But I feel like that with a cigar would probably go really well. And I think that's what I remember from the first time from the first time I tried that. As the Fox and Odin opens up, more of that orange is coming through from the MGP, from the backbone of that MGP, which isn't a bad thing because it's basically turning into like chocolate covered orange. Back to the Peerless. You know what? The Peerless has a nice little punch of chocolate too, but it's kind of intermingled with all like this tobacco flavor. And again, that weird like sawdusty note on the back end of that one. Yeah, that's a unique double oaked, the Peerless one. I feel like if you're a cigar smoker, you'll really like that one. But for me, like more of an everyday type pour, I actually prefer the Fox and Odin over the Peerless on this one. So, all right, there you go. I'm going to continue to sip that. And then let's get into a few news stories, guys, because, I love sharing the news. And then we have... I have another announcement here in a little bit. One I would love for you guys to get involved with. We do it every year. But let's start with this one, which is from BattleCraft Spirits. On Tuesday, BattleCraft Spirits unveiled their third release within its cask finish series, which debuted in September. The release is blended bourbon finished in Mizunara oak that hosts a suggested retail price of $89.99 per 750 milliliter bottle. Mizunara is a blend of 6, 7, and 9-year bourbons from Indiana. Let's see, 8 and 14-year-old bourbons from Tennessee, and an 8-year-old bourbon from Kentucky. The bourbons possess a variety of different mash bills and were matured in Mizunara casks for a year and a half before the whiskey was bottled at cask strength 116.42 proof. And I think, I think that's it. So if you guys were a fan of that one, it looks like it's coming back. What are your feelings here? Because I feel like, I did want to ask you guys this. I love having this conversation, kind of opening up to you guys. Let's talk about Mizunara a little bit. Is Mizunara a finish that you're still seeking, that you're still going after? Or has Mizunara kind of become, it was a hot thing for a little bit and it's kind of trailed off? Like, where are you guys at with Mizunara oak? I'm just curious because it is a more expensive oak to work with. And I know some people have gotten, sick of certain finishes. Where's Mizunara for you? I see it as kind of a flash in the pan type of, finish. Meh. God, that sounds good. I love so much of what Barrel has done. Mizunara over Amburana, says Problem. Don't watch him. I might have to agree with you there. I'm sitting here enjoying my Peerless Double Oaked, wondering if you're a fraud, but I'm having a nice Oliva V with it. Bob Glass, that Oliva V is probably making it taste way better. That's probably my favorite cigar. That's probably like my go-to. If I don't know what I want to smoke, I'm smoking an Oliva V. That's probably the one I'm going with. It might have taken advantage of our market. We lack good blended bourbons, for sure. I can't even spell it. Not into it anymore. It's okay, says Black Bourbon Family. What's going on, Jason Brandy? Jason Brandy, I did not forget about you. I do have some samples I got to pull aside for you, send them over. That's a decent price for Mizunara, though. I agree. I think that it's sub 100 for a Mizunara is pretty incredible. You got to remember what Rabbit Hole wanted for their Mizunara finished Founder Series? What do they want? $2,500 for their Mizunara? So $89.99 doesn't sound so bad anymore. Mizunara Classic Irish Oak. Never had it. No FOMO here. Agree with Popham. Another finish that sucks to justify higher prices. Give you Wild Turkey 101 and I'm happy, says Space Ghost. Literally, the only Mizunara I've tried is Vantage, which I'm really met on. What does it usually impart? Usually with Mizunara, you get, sometimes you get like very fruit-forward aspects to it. You get kind of like a sandalwood type vibe to it. It can get a little bit more savory. Mizunara is all over the place. It really depends on, I think, the base whiskey going into it. The Forgate Mizunara has been probably my favorite that I've tried. But with that said, I do have a sample of Barrel's Mizunara right here. There it is. So we're going to try this baby here. There you go. Wait, is it? Oh no, I'm sorry. This is not the Mizunara. This is a Tale of Two Islands. Did I grab the wrong one? Because that one over there is the Amburana, and I'm certainly not drinking that. All right, we're going to try this one anyway. Can I? Oh, it's taped. Shit, I didn't see that. All right, I like the Japanese whiskeys with Mizunara. I think I had I'm trying to remember. Did I have an Irish whiskey that had Mizunara finishing on it? And I think I really loved it. I'm trying to remember if that was the case. Okay. Christopher Nelson says Audible. Yeah, exactly. Audible. All right, let's go to this next one. And here it is, guys. People have been waiting for this one. Look at the beauty. Behold. It is the next Blood Oath. And I kind of already mentioned this, guys, about this bottle. If you want to see me review this bottle, someone's going to have to send me a sample of it because I am not buying this again. I'm sticking to my word. This is Lux Row's latest Blood Oath whiskey release. The 10th anniversary with the distinctive double finish. Beautiful looking bottle of the black label. So on Tuesday, Blood Oath announced the brand's latest whiskey, Blood Oath Pact 10, Kentucky straight bourbon, of course, bottled at 98.6 proof. The whiskey was finished in Merlot and Cabernet Franc cask, so a double red wine finish, and marks the 10th anniversary of Blood Oath. According to the brand, Luxor Master Blender and Master Distiller John Rempe has made its mission for the past decade to find rare bourbons, nearly lost to history, and bottle them to create exclusive releases for the series. So let's see. Blood Oath Pact 10 suggests a retail price of $129.99. There will be 17,000 cases that are available. The brand claims that the Cab Franc, or Cab Franc, if I'm saying that wrong, finish lends the whiskey red fruit and black pepper, while the Merlot provides cocoa, vanilla, and anise. So there you go. Who's in? Who's in for the Blood Oath Pact 10? Anyone? Anyone? Any takers? Any takers? Oh, man. That tastes like a raspberry Jolly Rancher. Jeez. Tale of Two Islands? A blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. I don't even remember. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's a Jamaican rum matured in peated Isla single malt barrels. Holy crap. I would have never guessed that. That's crazy. Negative. Nope. Snooze. No chance. Nope. Negative. Hate wine. Anything wine finish is a no for me. I'll never see one, so it doesn't matter. I'm in if it's your pour, says Chad Hurry. Cab Franc. Blood Oath needs a fever. Get the proof up. I agree. If you're curious about any finishes, you might want to start with BCS. They've been blending at a high level for so long. They can't get it right. No one else will. Yeah, I think they've been blending at a high level for so long that they can't get it right. No one else will. Yeah, BattleCraft Spirits, I think, has done an amazing job with blends. But for some reason, I just feel like the brand is just having trouble resonating. I'm not really sure if it's the price of it, the use of Dickel in it. I'm not really sure what's going on with Barrel, but we'll talk a little bit more about them a little later. We need to rally for the 12-year-old double barrel to come back so good. Yeah, again, like I said, I'm probably out on that one, unfortunately. I'm not really digging it. Little news from Buffalo Trace. Now, we kind of talked about this a few weeks back. Buffalo Trace had announced opening a brand home in England, I believe. I think this is in the UK. So Buffalo Trace's London brick and mortar location will be open to the public to visit starting May 6th. This is in London's Covent Garden. The space will be open to the public, like I said, May 6th, and you can get tickets to book them. That's open if you happen to be in London during that time. Buffalo Trace is offering 2 experiences in the new location, the Taste of Trace and Tradition and Change, crafting the most awarded American whiskey. Guests will be able to sample Buffalo Trace bourbon, Sazerac rye, and Buffalo Trace bourbon cream, while additionally receiving a mini Buffalo Trace and ginger ale cocktail. The second tasting is a more intimate experience. Guests can experience the White Dog Mash, the Buffalo Trace bourbon, Eagle Road 10, and E.H. Taylor small batch. They will also be able to taste that. I like how they say Buffalo Trace's more premium whiskey. Their premium whiskey to them is White Dog Mash #1, regular Buffalo Trace, Eagle Road 10, okay, and E.H. Taylor small batch. Okay. It's a 2,000 square foot space, and okay. I mean, I don't know. My issue with that whole deal is I guess they're probably looking at it from a location standpoint, because if you're in London and people in London have never had Buffalo Trace, I guess you could kind of get away with those selections being the premium experience, but that would never fly here. If you're asking me to pay more for a more intimate experience, I want access to doesn't exactly have to be antique collection, but give me Colonel Taylor, barrel proof, single barrel, give me Stag Junior or whatever, not Stag Junior anymore. Give me, I'm astounded that Blanton's is not on that list, to be honest. That's the most well-marketed bourbon in the world. Why isn't that on the list to try? Maybe it will get there, but I don't see that premium list as premium at all. But maybe they're starting off slow in London and gonna, ease people into it. We'll see. I don't really see that. At least Buffalo Trace is only sending the easier ones to get over there. Yeah, Ancient Age. Yeah, BTER and EHC are shelfers. Yeah, all of that and Traveler isn't on the list. Blasphemy. Yeah, Popham. I know Popham loves Traveler. Sorry, Troy. I didn't mean to call you out like that. I'm only kidding, man. I know you don't like Traveler. Okay. Let's go to the next one here. Oh, big news coming out of Westward. And, you know, for you folks that follow American Single Malt, I still like to see what's going on with American Single Malt, kind of the growth of it. Westward Whiskey unveiled their second club release of 2024, which is an American Single Malt finished in a quartet of red wine casks. So we're back with the red wine casks. So this is the second club release of 2024. It's named Westward Whiskey's Vintner's Cuvée, and the Portland, Oregon-based facility went all out with the wine finishing for this one. So the American Single Malt is a blend of whiskeys aged in Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, Tempranillo, and Pinot Noir barrels. The wine casks are sourced from the Willamette Valley in Oregon, Sonoma County in California, and Margaret River in Australia. Let's see here. Bottled at 96 proof. This will be priced at $99.95 and will go on sale from May 3rd through May 14th for pre-order exclusively to members of the Westward Whiskey Club. Notes of black currant, strawberry shortcake, clove, flan, and forest floor. I was with you until you wrote forest floor. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's more of like the savory notes, like in the oak that they're talking about. Finish says mint panna cotta, graham cracker, cherry jam, orange marmalade, lingering pine and birch. Okay, pine and birch. There's your forest floor. So, all right, there you go for that one. And what's next? Let's look at some fun labels that I just saw on the TTB this week. I get, my own Discord group posts this stuff all the time. So they saw this before I did. The first one is, look at this. Old Grandad 16-year-old. 100 proof, age 16 years. I am loving it. I cannot wait for this one. This, I have a feeling, will be pretty difficult to get for some people. Not really sure what the price is going to be on this, but judging by the way Jim Beam normally prices their higher age stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if this was $160. Because normally their other 16 and 15-year-old 18-year-olds, bottlings are all about $10 per year of aging. So 160 for this, maybe a little lower because it's only 100 proof. We'll see. But I am super excited. That is the great granddad. That's old great granddad being 16 years old. Excited for that one. Speaking of Jim Beam, we have a new Booker's release. It looks like it's coming out. Details are few and far between, but that looks like the new Booker's label that's going to be on this bottle, and it's going to be called the Reserves. The Reserves coming in with a 2024 batch, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. So here's the thing with the Booker, with this bottle, though. If this truly is a reserve type of situation, you're giving us 8 years, 2 months, and 12 days. A standard Booker's bottle is 7 years, a couple months, and some days. So 1 year older, and that qualifies it to be a Reserves. Now, I cannot confirm that the age and the proof there is accurate for this release. I don't know if that's the actual case or if those are just written there for position only, just to see what it looks like. Sometimes that happens. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one as the details get closer. But if it is 8 years, 2 months, and 12 days, that doesn't really scream Reserves for me. I don't know. I feel like a 10 or 11 or 12-year Booker's would warrant that type of designation. But yeah, that's going to be the label there. BattleCraft Spirits looks like they're going to be revamping the fronts of their labels with a new look here, batch 36. So no longer will the numbers be written here on the bottom of the label to give you what batch it is. Now they'll be front and center. Nice big bold text there, 036. So batch 36 coming soon. A little bit of a label change there. I think this was needed. I think when you're kind of looking at that stuff on the shelf, you don't really see what batch it is. You got to get up close. So I like that they made it front and center here. Well done, Barrel. Like that a lot. Dark Arts whiskey. This new non-distilling producer making a lot of noise lately with some of their creativity. Looks like they're coming out with a straight bourbon whiskey finished with toasted Japanese Mizunara oak staves Not a full cast, but this is stave. So we'll, again, more Mizunara for everybody. And then they're going to be bringing this one out. This is a straight rye whiskey finished in maple syrup barrels. Dude, you say maple syrup or honey to anyone, and they are waiting online for this shit. I'm telling you. It gets crazy. But yeah, love what Dark Arts is doing. We also have this one that popped up, which is the OFC from Buffalo Trace. Looks like OFC is going to be coming out. And, anything that, anything that comes out from Buffalo Trace, we always have to play this.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
We're never going to get it. We're never going to get it. We may try it at a bar, but we sure as hell ain't ever going to get it. Just saying. That's my favorite. Let me go. Just had David, I'm with you. I think the Dark Arts French Oak was my favorite when they sent me the samples. That thing was so good. OGD 16, I'm all year. I like Booker's. If I see it, I'll get it. Everyone gives Booker's a hard time. Yeah, I think Booker's has actually gotten a little bit better in the last couple of years. And, they've gone from 6 to 7 years old. I like Booker's lately. I got to try the Springfield batch. A lot of people are telling me how good it is. If anyone has it, that has gotten a batch of that, let me know. Shoot me a message. Would love to review a sample of that if need be, because I was away when it released here. And I think at least in Ohio, they're all gone. So if anyone has a Springfield batch sample, let me know and shoot me a sample if you can. I'm not paying for it at a bar, says Whiskey Nose. I like to get that OFC. If anyone sees it, pick it up for me. There you go, Cheech, because it's that simple. And it is a 90 proof, super super high age thing. Jason, if you could get OFC at retail, would you grab it? 2,500 would hurt. Yeah, I wouldn't actually buy for that, Jake, because I've had it before. I was lucky to get a pour a long time ago. And while I will say that it probably was one of the most velvety bourbons I've had for 90 proof, the flavor and the finish didn't warrant that type of price tag to me. I actually did like the double Eagle Rare one actually better than the OFC. I got to pour that at a bar at one time. I thought actually that was I enjoyed that a little bit more than the OFC. And honestly, the Eagle Rare box lights up. So I'd rather spend the money on that. Everybody likes shit that lights up. It's like, oh my God, I would probably spend the $25 on that too. So that'd be funny. Silent Todd says, not missing anything on Booker's 2024-1. Way too much oak and cinnamon, I feel, says Silent Todd. Okay. I forgot I got a Springfield sample. Had to pass due to budget. Can pour it and give you my thoughts later if you like. Yeah, that'd be cool, Kenneth. Life from the patios here. What is going on? Cheers. The bourbon engineer, the HR director for the Whiskey Nose in the house. Paid $110 for my Mighty Fine batch. I was a big fan of that one. Like the Mighty Fine batch. So, okay. So while everyone is here, I do want to talk about an organization that I've talked about every single year. It is the Bourbon Derby, and that is coming up this weekend with the Kentucky Derby happening. So if anybody has not seen this, this is all about, this is the 4th annual Chris Krentz Memorial Fund Bourbon Derby. I've been talking about this the last couple of years, guys. If you want to get involved, this is an organization that I absolutely love. I don't have any skin in the game here. I just like to talk about it. They're local to Ohio, and they've been doing some incredible things here the last few years. It takes place on Friday, May 3rd. So, yeah, a couple days here in Covington, Kentucky at Braxton Brewing Company. You can participate by attending in person for the evening or just viewing it online and purchasing raffle tickets for some awesome bourbon. Chris, a little bit about Chris. He was a husband, a father. He was a veteran, a friend to many who lost his life unexpectedly in 2020 at the age of 47. His family and friends brought together Chris's love of bourbon and ponies to raise dollars for charities in Chris's name. Now, last year, they were able to give away more than $20,000 following their event, and they support veterans, scholarships for trade schools, all in his local community in northern Kentucky. Tickets to the annual bourbon raffle are just $10 each, and you may enter as many times as you'd like. So when the Bourbon Derby registration closes on May 3rd, the entire list of raffle participants will be run through a randomizer 5 times on random.org. The top names on the 5th and final list generated will be the winners of the Bourbon Derby And those winning participants will then head to the winner's circle to receive their prize pack. The first name will win the first prize, second will win the second prize, and so on and so forth. These prizes will be the win, place, and show format, meaning the prizes will be given in sequential order according to the winner's finish. The more raffle tickets you purchase, the more chances you have of winning all the amazing bourbon packs that you can have. Now, I'll show you here. This is the bourbon list that they have, and I know it's probably hard to see here, guys, but they have some incredible bourbons on the list. They have an Old Fitz. They have the Old Fitz 13 in there. They have this pack with the. This is one of the 56 bourbon packs you can win here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Wellers, a Weller 12, a full proof, a 107 store pick in there as well. There's just some really, really cool bottles in there. So if you want to be a part of it, you can scan that QR code on the right, for admission tickets, raffle tickets, and to bid on any silent auction items. So you guys can, I'll give you a minute to do that if you'd like. Also, if you want to get some more information on it, guys, and find their website, just look up Chris Krentz Bourbon Derby on Facebook, and you can find all the information on their page. I'll actually post it here in the chat for the Chris Krentz Memorial Fund. This family I've been talking with for a long time, and they have been extremely what they do in their community, and there's so many organizations around bourbon that do incredible things like this, including our own people here, on YouTube and WhiskeyTube and all the stuff that we do. But there's a link to the Memorial Fund if you guys want to check it out. Again, $10 raffle ticket just to win one of those amazing picks. And yeah, good luck. And, cheers to Chris Krentz and the family and everybody putting this together. I totally, it's incredible what you guys do each and every year. And I love that you spread the wealth. You give it to veterans. You give it to trade schools, which I think is, kind of lost its way. More people learning, about different trades across the spectrum, whether it be welding, metalwork, woodworking, whatever it is, everything that kind of falls under that umbrella. And I'm proud to kind of endorse it for you and talk about it tonight. So I'll throw that up a little bit again later, so you guys can check it out if you want to scan and get involved again. But cheers to you guys and what you do, and cheers to all you watching. For if you decide to help out, thank you so much. All right, there we go. Let's see here. Is that an original grain watch you're wearing? No, this is not. This is a Belova watch. This is a watch my girlfriend got me for. Oh, thumbs down. I did. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Does that work? That didn't do it. They can't see me. Thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah. This is a watch my girlfriend got me for Christmas. Oh, it's give me all the thumbs downs. What's happening? U.S. veterans are weird. Don't give us whiskey. We do odd things. Any thoughts on doing a top 10 bourbon, rye, and whiskey from the last 5 years? That's a good idea, Alex. Maybe that'll get me over the edge to do to get to 100,000 subscribers. I do like that a lot, actually. Yeah. So this is not an original grain watch, but I do have a bunch of original grain watches because I love working with them. You guys will see some ads around Father's Day for some great ways to save on original grain. If you're looking for any gift ideas, the amount of watches they're doing now, the stuff that they're doing now at Original Grain is incredible. So, yeah, absolutely. He hates the watch and AI knows it. No, I love this watch. I love it. Okay. All right, what should I try first here, guys? Because we have the blind tasting we got to get in here. We got to, let's see. I don't know. You guys let me know. You want me to do Hell Diver? Let's do one of the finished ones first. How about Hell Diver or Forgate? What do you think? We'll do the finished bourbons before we get into the ryes, because we have the double pumpernickel rye and then we have the Raconteur rye. So, do you guys rather see the Hell Diver or the Forgate? What do you guys want me to do? Are there any Nikes that light up at the Master and Drum? Not that well, yeah, there are Nikes that light up, but they're expensive. Raconteur rye, Kelvin, Forgate, Kelvin, Hell Diver. Oh man, we got quite Hell yes says Whiskey BS. All right, so basically, whichever rock the Raconteur. What's the proof on this one? Ooh, 60. Ooh, oh, straight rye. I didn't realize this was in Mizunara as well. Oh, we're going crazy with the. All right, let's do the Raconteur. Let's dive in right now. Rare Bird 101. If you're watching or listening, it's happening. We're going in. So this is, if none of you guys know about this rye whiskey, and I will put this in front of the camera here while I kind of read off the details here. And there it is. Look at that beautiful bottle. So this is the Woodwork Collective and David Jennings, aka Rarebird 101, have announced the release of Raconteur Rye. Spirits author and founder of Rarebird 101 are proud to announce a bold collaboration. This small batch barrel-proof rye whiskey is available in limited quantities on May 10th at a suggested retail price of $129.99. Now, this is a combination of 3 unique Indiana distilled 95.5 rye whiskeys, each aged a minimum of 7 years. Straight rye whiskey, which aged in new charred oak, straight rye whiskey aged in 48-month cured toasted oak barrels, and straight rye whiskey finished in a second fill Mizunora oak cask that previously held 16-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. Now, in addition, the final blend spent a month in Mizunora to refine the marriage, bottled uncut and unfiltered at 120.48 proof. Raconteur Rye offers a genuine straight from the barrel sipping experience. This is a dream come true for co-creator David Jennings. What began as a challenge to create a new flavor profile resulted in a rye expression reminiscent of the earliest days of my whiskey journey. If you're a fan of early 2010 95.5 ryes, you'll love this bottle right here. Okay. So let's see. Let me switch the camera here. And all right, let me get this here for you guys, and we're back. Okay, there you go. Helldiver sounds hot. Jason should do a mellow corn pick. I want to do a mellow corn pick, but I asked Connor O'Driscoll about it. He said that he gets more requests about that than anything, and I don't think they can do them quite yet, unfortunately. So, all right, let's pour this thing. Did Rarebird 101 enter the chat yet? Where's he at? Super curious on your thoughts on this. Wonder what it might compare to the profile-wise. Yeah, let's see. All right, let's get a. All right. I'll pour a little more in that so I can get a good nose on this thing. Just wondering, do you use a separate software program for live streams? Looks different than other whiskey tubers. Looks different. In what way? It might be my lighting. It could be my camera. I don't know. Just wanted to use separate software program for your live. Looks there. I use StreamYard. But I have a pretty, I'm not going to say complicated setup, but I definitely like to play around with color profiles and make it look the best I can. So, yep. Let's see. Frank August Mizunora or Raconteur. Yeah, Jason looks good. Real good, says Chicharlino. All right, so let's throw on the whiskey cam here. You guys can see the color of this beauty. So as I put it in front of the label here, you can see it's not super dark, but good color here. All right. All right, here we go. It's that sexy vignette. I do have a sexy vignette on the screen. I do. Yeah. Ooh. All right. This thing needs to open up. I need to give it the old swirl job. Jason's just a hot hunk of lasagna on my screen. Nobody else has a fancy Star Wars screen wipe. I try, guys. Thank you so much for noticing my hard work at the at my color nerdiness of trying to make this stuff look good. Okay. All right, let's go on the nose here, guys. All right, so first thing I get being MGP, of course, I always say it, but it's immediate. For me, I always get it. It's a very distinct orange note. But there is some more stuff coming out of the nose of this one. It's very zesty. It's almost like a combination of orange, lemon. It almost comes off as tart a little bit. Again, this is just off the nose. I think I do get some of like that, and maybe because I was saying it before with the Mizunara, you know, having kind of like a sandalwood type effect, kind of a woodsy type of. It's not woodsy in the way like you would think. It doesn't like smell like Old Spice or something, but it does. I don't know. It's got like this. Yeah, I think sandalwood is the way to describe it. But at the same time, it's very sweet. I get like a lot of vanilla icing in here, almost kind of like a Pop-Tart icing. A little bit of a pastry crust. Yeah, very sweet, very fruit forward. Mainly fruit forward here on the nose for me for this one, guys. So, all right, let's try it. Cheers to Rarebird. Congrats on another release. Here we go. Yeah, this takes you for a little bit of a ride in a good way. I'm going to need another sip of that. Great spice throughout, front to back. The black pepper, more of that citrus on the palate. I get a strawberry note mid palate as well, kind of like that bright fruit note. It's like the it's like I'm not gonna say strawberry Pop-Tart, but it's very sweet in mid palate. But it's got a ton of spice from front to back, which is what I love when it comes to rye. This actually toes a nice balance between rye spice and super sweet. But this isn't like a Kentucky rye sweet where you would kind of get those vanilla caramels that you're used to go along with that, like that rye peppermintiness, that mintiness note that you would normally expect from a 95.5 rye. That's not really here. This is kind of a different type of spice. Again, it's more of like that sandalwood, woodsy type of spice punch that's here. Almost like a, what can I equate that to? Yeah, it's definitely like a sandalwood vibe. Almost a little bit of leather here too. But that strawberry note that punches through right there in mid palate, that's my favorite part of this. And the spice from front to back. That's crazy. I do think on the back end, you get some of like that quintessential 95.5 rye, the clove, the spice, all kind of happening on the back end. A little bit of a like a star anise type of flavor profile. I wouldn't go as far to say like a black licorice. That's not what's happening here. This is more of like a clove savory type of spice on the back end. But mid palate, man, I love the mid palate of this. And I love the spice from front to back. This is a really unique rye whiskey. I don't think I've tasted a rye like this in a long time. It's really, really cool. So when you kind of think about throwback rye whiskeys, sometimes you think of, I don't know, like very floral type of rye whiskeys. Like if you go back and you try like a Leopold Brothers or even this one, the A. Overholt, which has like this really base florality to it. It's almost a little lavender-esque, if you will. This does not really have that. This has a little bit more. Jason won't show his shoes tonight. He's wearing PF Flyers. Oh, Rarebird is in the house. There he is. Cheers, Rarebird. Love that ride. Love that ride. Says Rarebird. Yeah, David, this is a very unique rye. I don't think this is a rye that, if you're a fan of like cast strength, in your face spice bombs, that's not what this is. This is more of kind of like this multi-layered, elegant type of rye whiskeys where if you just give this thing a minute, and this hasn't even really opened up yet. I can only imagine when it opens up, kind of the flavors we'll get here. It just kind of takes you on these little bit of like layers of flavors here. And I think depending on your palate and what you're sensitive to, anybody can pull a lot of different flavors out of here. But for me, this starts with spice. I'll show you my sneakers here soon because it's the first time I'm wearing them tonight. So the first thing that you notice on this is the spice. Spice up front. I like to leave a little bit of whiskey right there in the front of my palate and see what it does. This gives me all the feels, all the little spice. The Pop Rocks effect is in effect as it kind of starts. All that spiciness, the black pepper, but a lot of sweet as well. Once it hits mid palate, that is my favorite. You get this mix of like strawberry, orange, and spice all together. And then once it hits the finish, that's when you kind of, I think, maybe get more of the maybe the Mizunara like effects where you have a little bit of like that sandalwood note, clove, spice. It goes from the spices from front to back throughout, but depending on how your palate reacts, you could get sweet up front, sweet mid palate, a little bit more savory up front, a little bit more savory mid. It just depends. I mean, it coats the texture. I think too is great on this. This is pretty damn delicious. I gotta say, this is probably one of the more impressive ryes I've had this year. That's really good, man. Okay, kids are in bed. Let's do it, says Darren Clary. Darren, I got your blind sample here on deck. So, any other ryes you'd compare it to, Kenneth Rathburn? That's just what was going through my mind. What the hell would I even compare this to? I don't even know what I would compare this to be honest. So I say sweet rye, and your mind may automatically go to like a Michter's barrel proof rye, but that's not what this is either. That's even more sweet and more mint forward than this is. So if you kind of think about Michter's barrel proof rye, you have a very sweet forward front palate on the Michter's, whereas this you get spice, but it's not as sweet. Michter's barrel proof rye, you have like that really like minty back end. That's not what happens here either. This is a little bit more fruit forward, a little bit more savory on the back end. Again, that clove, that allspice, sandalwood, whatever you want to call it, kind of comes to the forefront. And I actually think this has a better mouthfeel than the Michter's barrel strength. There just seems to be a very rich texture to it. I did not expect that from this. And, to my detriment, I haven't really been paying attention a lot to, I've just been crazy the last couple weeks with, my aunt passing away and traveling for work, to Texas, which we'll talk about a little later as we're doing the blind tasting. When this showed up on my door, I was kind of just, I want to say oblivious to it, but it was just like, man, this is the rye that Rarebird's been talking about. And now that I'm trying it now, I'm kind of glad I didn't read or notice anything because it's not swaying me at all. It's just a really good rye. No, not Stellan Black, not Kentucky Owl. Nope. No. This might sound a little different because it's the only thing I could think that's as unique as this. Now, they're very different, but if you guys have ever had like some really good peerless single barrel rye whiskeys that have just a ridiculous amount of different flavors, I've had a peerless straight rye that doesn't have a finish that like tasted like a rum finish on it. I've had ones that we had a rye that tasted like strawberry, like a straight up strawberry like dessert. We called it strawberry grooves. If there's anything I can compare this to, it might be that. Like a really good, unique, peerless straight rye whiskey. But I do think this has a little bit more spice than that, which I'm kind of digging. It drinks lighter than the 120 proof would indicate. Like, I would probably guess this might be 110 to 113. I wouldn't think this is 120 proof. It drinks a lot easier than that for me. This is delicious, man. Congrats, David. That's a great rye whiskey. I'm all about that. All about it. Really good stuff, man. Let's see. Older age will, yeah, definitely. No, not will it. Driftless Glenrise? No, I think I would have to go. Jason, have you tried the Junkies Night Stalker blend yet? No, not yet. I think someone's giving me a sample of that one. I have not tried that stuff yet. So is it a buy or a buy and back it up? I don't know. David, what's the price on this one? I don't remember what this is going to be selling for. $129.99. I don't know if I love it enough to back it up, but I definitely would give this a buy. This is a definite buy, especially if you're a rye whiskey fan. It's a little bit more old school. It's unique. The texture is unbelievable, and I absolutely love it. So I'm glad I have a bottle. David did send this to me, but like I said, guys, I did not, I didn't read anything about it beforehand before trying this tonight, so I was not swayed in any way. But this is a really, really good rye whiskey. So, yeah. And for it being MGP, it's pretty impressive as far as like the lack of like that mintiness to it. So, Rarebird, I don't know if you can, if you want to put in the chat where we can find this one when it comes out. I think I read on the press release that it will be launching May 10th in limited quantities. Is that going to be through Bourbon Outfitter? Did they release it already? What happened with this bottle so far, David? Just asking for a friend. There you go, guys. Bourbon Outfitter on May 10th. So keep an eye out for that one, guys. Bourbon Outfitter, May 10th. There you go. All right. Because we're kind of in the rye family, I'm going to jump to another rye here. One that I've been really looking forward to trying too here, which is the Two Soul Spirits double-barreled pumpernickel rye, aged for 5 years, but double-barreled. This is 126.7 proof. Jesus, the proof monsters are out tonight. I probably should have poured this a little while ago and let it get some air. But I will drop this here so you guys can take a look at that beautiful bottle. And in the meantime, this is a 5-year, 1 month, 8-day-old rye whiskey. Proof of 126.7. The mash bill is 80% pumpernickel rye, 10% corn, 5% wheat, and 5% malted barley. So this is sourced from right here in Ohio at Middle West Spirits. This is a straight rye finished in a used rye barrel that once held, I think, hazmat rye. If I remember that correctly. So Two Soul Spirits is an independent bottler. They're headed by the guy by a guy named James Estrada and Chad Savetti, known as the Whiskey Doctor. He has written for Bourbon Sippers and co-hosts the Whiskey Uncut podcast. According to Two Soul Spirits, they intended to curate craft spirits from across the United States that are big, bold, 100% uncut and unfiltered, and exceptionally rare. So they say that they are the first to release a dark pumpernickel rye whiskey, which the company released at 3 years old and 96 proof. Two Souls was impressed by it. They managed to convince Middle West to let go of a 4-year-old barrel and then finished it for an additional 13 months in an ex-hazmat rye barrel. The result is an immensely dark colored rye with a boldness that matches how it looks. So let's dive into it, guys. Here we go. Let's get back. Jesus, this is a complete different departure from the Raconteur rye. This is just all rye in your face. All up in the face. Yikes. Let me go. Where is the... Okay. So it's crazy too, because when you come off the Raconteur rye, this just comes off not as sweet. It does have a spice to it, but it's a completely different spice. This is where you're running into like the black tea and the cinnamon and a little bit of like, this is more of like that star anise, the licorice note here. I get some citrus here too, but you get like that pumpernickel bread note from here that I love from that Middle West spirit. Yeah, the more this opens up, the more chocolate I get. That's nice. Super spicy, a little sweet. This thing has a little bit of everything in it. Let's try it. Holy hell. That is super savory. Super savory. This is like, oh, I'm also getting like hazelnut on there. Like, it's like a Nutella on toasted rye bread. Man. Wow. Oh, and the finish. The finish is molasses. The finish is, again, like that roasted fennel. I'm not gonna. It's not black licorice because it doesn't get to that level of like fake sweet. This is more of like a natural licorice type flavor. But molasses, it's dark with the chocolate. This is crazy. These two ryes tonight are just killing it. But two completely different experiences, but both equally really, really good. You know, I think there are some of these left. I think if you guys go to Two Soul Spirits, you might. Let me see here. Do they have any left? Let me see. Available now, it says. I'm going to put this in the chat. If you guys want to check this out, this is a really, really good rye too. Both of these. Damn. This is definitely not as delicate as the Raconteur rye. The Raconteur rye, I think, even though it's 120 proof, it drinks a little bit lighter. It's more viscous than this is, but this is way more in your face. Fruit forward, a little bit, not as fruit forward as the Raconteur rye, but you have a lot of bold flavors here. Almost gets to a point of like chocolate, molasses, oak. Again, that like roasted fennel note. And I think right in between there, you get it's like a toasted like hazelnut. Like when you combine like the hazelnut chocolate, it reminds me of like Nutella a little bit. This thing is stupid good too. And that's a 5-year product. Damn. Rodrigo, what's your opinion on the Old Potrero single barrel rye? I love Old Potrero. I know there are some people that don't like it. It's definitely a little bit more of a crafty type of rye whiskey, but I love how fruit forward it is. I love the flavors in Old Potrero. I did a review on it. I know I have yet to try one of the single barrel cast. Oh no, I do. I have tried that. I think the single barrel cast strengths are better than the regular version, but it's still a fantastic whiskey. Let's see here. Yeah, this is really good stuff, man. God, just so bold and dark. This is like a more subtle, I don't know. It's like this subtle layered rye whiskey experience. And this is just like blast you in the face with like proof and flavor and darkness. So yeah, both of them are fantastic. If any of you guys get either one, I actually might try to get a backup of this. I actually dig this so much. But this thing is a beast. So yeah, I dropped the link in the chat. If it's still available, guys, and I would recommend it. That thing is good. Again, if you like that pumpernickel rye profile, it's definitely different than a standard rye whiskey. It's not nearly as spicy. It's not nearly as minty or dill. It's a little bit more of a toasty bread type note. All right. If you like Balcones, you may be onto it, says Eric Farrar. Love it. Just ordered the rye and 6-year Illinois straight bourbon whiskey featuring Rush Creek Distilling. Okay. All right, let me get some water here because we need to do 2 more samples here before we get into our blind tasting tonight and see how I do. Hopefully I'm not wrecking my palate too much. Let's get into the Found North Helldiver. Oh, I love when they give you wax with the tab. Love it. It's a screw top? Oh, it is screw top. Wow, that's pretty light compared to what we've tried tonight. Here you go, guys. You can kind of take a look at the Helldiver. There it is. The Found North Helldiver 15-year. There it is. So this is the sample. They did send this to me. I got this a couple days ago. So excited to try it here tonight. Oh, it is still available. Yeah, you guys are going to freaking love it. I'm just telling you right now. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this Helldiver. This is the newest addition to their high altitude collection. Unlike our batches where we blend fully matured whiskeys, our high altitude collection is defined by process of blend. Helldiver started as a blend of 15, 22, and 23-year-old corn whiskey with 18 and 19-year-old rye whiskey, which they recasked into Pedro Jimenez sherry, so PX sherry, cognac casks, and New American oak casks. Over the following year, they meticulously tracked these cask progressions, pulling and vatting them as they reached their peak maturation. To achieve the correct balance, we only used 2/3 of these casks in the final blend. Okay. That's it. It's all sold out. I don't know. There was, let's see, there were 2,208 bottles of this one, finished in, like I said, PX, sherry, cognac, and New American oaks, 119 proof, 85 corn, 14% rye, 1% malted barley, non-chill filtered, no additives, natural color. And there you go. That's the skinny, guys. Let's try it. Man, coming off those 2 ryes, this is like a completely different animal, especially being a corn whiskey. I'm ready to get hurt again. Michael Scott. Yeah, we'll try this out here. Let's see what we got here with this one. I don't know if any of this will, give you guys, some kind of idea of trying to get this on secondary somewhere, but we'll see. I get the raisin and the chocolate immediately, I think, from the PX sherry. That's the first thing that stands out on the nose. It's not overly sherried. I'm not getting like a huge punch of it, but it's there. Definitely get that corn whiskey in here. It's very sweet. Man, it's like angel food cake. It's like angel food cake with it smells like one of those Christmas fruit cakes where you have like it's like covered with like the icing, but it's like very almond heavy, but it's got the raisins in it, the dates. It smells like a Christmas fruit cake. I'm serious. And I don't know about you guys, but my grandmother used to have those shit. She used to have tons of them. She used to have that shit around all the time around the holidays. There's fruitcakes everywhere. I guess it was an Italian thing, but yeah, it reminds me of the fruitcake on the nose. It's just amazing how whiskey and just food and stuff like that in general can take you back. I talk about it all the time, but that's probably one of my favorite parts of whiskey. When you smell something and just kind of, it like completely rewinds your life and it takes you back to I don't know, a simpler time when, you wake up in the morning, you watch cartoons and you eat fruitcake around some gifts at Christmas. I don't know. I never ate it though. All right, here we go. Yeah, the panettone. Oh, wow. The palate is an onslaught of dark fruit. Immediately. It's also a little tart. So there's almost like a cranberry preserves thing going on where it's, man, my palate's really sensitive tonight and picking up all these crazy flavors. Yeah, you serious, Clark? I'm just trying to like, my goodness gracious. This thing is, it's all fruit, chocolate, and it's like raisin, chocolate, and probably like baking spices too. Things getting sweeter. Man, what is there? It tastes like something so distinct, and I can't put my finger on it. Like I know I've tasted this before. What the hell is that? Maybe it is the panettone. It's the freaking panettone fruitcake. Because I'm getting like a mix of like almond, dark fruit, raisin, cranberry, like some tart type of like some tart like sweet fruits here, and then but then it gets into like this dark like chocolate type of vibe, like mixed with like almond, and that thing's all over the place. Wow. It's got like this raspberry preserves thing on the very back end too. This thing is layered. I feel like Shrek. Ogres are like layers. Ogres are like onions. We have layers. I can't do a Scottish accent. What you mean, Shrek? You mean you're old and moldy when you leave it out in the sun too long? All right, so my only criticism of this one is that if I had a bottle of this and it was opening up, I'm scared that all the like the sherry and the cognac is I think because the more I sip it, the more it's just all sherry and cognac, and it's just kind of taking over the whole experience. There is some rye spice there, but the more I sip it, the less you get. But it's extremely fruit forward. I like that about it. But this is like a straight up dessert pour, like for me. Like it gets to a point where it's so incredibly sweet and fruit forward. I don't know if I would drink this all the time. This would be more of a mood pour for me. But if you're gonna pull the trigger and buy this bottle, you have to like those cognac and Pedro Jimenez type of profiles. You have to like dark fruit. You have to like those dark flavors. And those dark flavors in spades. Like because it is very strong here for me. Ogres have layers. Donkey. Double base Helldiver versus Found North Batch 7. Batch 7 seems to be the favorite from other releases. Yeah, I do think that this is a different animal than that. The amount of dark fruit that I'm getting here on this is really prevalent. But there is a darkness to it too. You start getting like a bitter chocolate note, like a cocoa powder right in the back of the mid palate too. It's really good. I'm kind of bummed I didn't. If I had a chance to buy that bottle, I would, because the chocolate and dark fruit combination, I know what it is. I finally know what this tastes like. It just hit me. This might be a little old school. Do you guys remember the Cadbury fruit and nut candy bar? Do they even still make that thing? You guys tell me. The Cadbury fruit and nut candy bar, where it's literally got like raisins and something else in the candy bar with the almonds and the nuts and the chocolate. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? They do still make it. That's what this reminds me of. Because the more I sip it, the more chocolate it's getting, but it's got this really rich fruit. It's got this nutty, like almond characteristic. Again, reminding me of that almond forward fruitcake, the panettone. And that's what it's reminding me of. I think that's what it is. Yep, that's what it is. Oh my God, it was bothering me. I'm so glad it finally hit me. The Cadbury fruit and nut chocolate bar. That's what this tastes like. Like you have that in one hand, and then you have a panettone fruitcake in another, and that's what's in this glass. All right, I'm done. All right, one more quick sample here before we get to the blind tasting, and hopefully I don't screw that up too much. Let's get to the Forgate. So this is the Kelvin Collab number 6. A lot of people have been asking me to review this one. I'm going to save a little for a full review, but I don't want to have too much here. This is a pretty plain label, so nothing really fun to show here on the fun camera. But this new Forgate is a blend of 3 9-year-old Kentucky straight bourbons finished in Portuguese Madeira and Conch Republic dark rum casks. So the mash bills here are 75 corn, 20% rye, 5% malted barley, 78 corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. So a little bit of schmevin schmill in there. Then you have 78 corn, 13 rye, and 9% malted barley. This is aged at least 9 years, 115.6 proof, MSRP, as always with Forgate, $200. All of it is distilled in Kentucky. So let's get into it here. This is what the bottle looks like, guys. I think I did have a picture of it. So that is what the new Kelvin Collab looks like. I think we were going to talk about this last week, but totally forgot to bring it up. My mind was elsewhere last week, so I apologize, obviously, guys. But yeah, that's the Forgate Kelvin Collab 6. So let's get into it. Completely different nose than what I've been tasting. This, I don't think I've had a tasting like this tonight, where the amount of whiskeys and how different they are have been so insanely different from one another. All in good ways, though. I don't think I've had anything I haven't liked tonight, which doesn't always happen. I think all these have been really good, really solid. Yeah, we'll see. But we got to try the Forgate now. The first thing that gets me with this, compared to, again, I gotta, coming off of this stuff, is how tart it is, like sweet tart candies on the nose. Jolly Rancher, but you also pick up that rum. You get a little bit of like that maple syrup, molassesy, like sweetness. Maybe a little hint of like a banana bread there too. Man, that's nice on the nose. There's a lot going on. Let's give it a try. Wow. That went completely peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but like with cherry jelly on it. Like I got peanut butter on that. I don't know if that's just because I'm coming off the other thing, but I got total peanut butter on that, which is interesting because Madeira, Madeira can give you nuttiness. If you've ever had the actual liqueur, Madeira does bring some nuttiness vibes, and I just want to pick it up. I just got that tastes like straight up peanut butter and jelly, but the jelly is like a cherry jam. If they even, yeah, they make cherry jam. I say it so convincingly. Cherry jam. You could buy cherry jam, dude. Peanut butter cherry jam on the palate with a little chocolate on the back end of that. That's what it is. The finish has some brown sugar. It definitely gives you the Kentucky vibes here, Kentucky whiskey vibes, Kentucky bourbon vibes, I should say. Vanilla, caramel, but a little bit darker than you would normally have. That is probably one of the more unique Kelvin collabs that we've seen here. That's really nice. It's not as fruit forward. I do like the fact that it's a little bit darker, a little bit more earthy, kind of bringing those flavors out. I love the nuttiness here, the cherry jam vibes with like the peanut butter. Dude. That's pretty good. Cherry preserves. Lone Star. I have a John Krenz. It's so funny that you're bringing that up because we're gonna name our 2 Still Austin picks after Spaceballs, the movie. Yeah. Cherry compote. Be pretentious. No, I can't do it. I'm not doing cherry compote. let's see. Wade Ward, I know, was in the chat, and he said he had it. Ben Dram says, finally home pouring the Peerless Rye Pig with all the rye talk. Loving the Loch Ness. Hope to get some of the new ryes you were talking about. Oh, thanks, Ben Drammond. Yeah, that's a damn good rye. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Yeah. Man. And it's getting more and more nutty on the nose and palate for me here. Did anyone try this yet and are getting those same flavors? I'm curious. Because for me, coming off that, see, now what's going to happen if somebody got this bottle and they're watching this, they're going to go back and taste this. They're going to be like, shit, it is peanut butter and cherry. Buy and back it up, says Chris K. I like how you're making me rate it here. For $200, this is a buy. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a buy and back it up. It's not. It doesn't have like that bold quality, or it's not like this amazingly unique palette that I've experienced. But for me, I like this. This is a buy. If you like peanut butter, if you don't really like that kind of flavor profile, then maybe this becomes more of a try before you buy. Listen, anything over $150 to $200 these days is usually a try before you buy for me either way. But I'm glad I did try this because I'm probably now going to buy a bottle because I do like this a lot. It's really good. I love those flavors. I love cherry. I love peanut butter together in a whiskey. Hell yeah. I'm pouring some of the KC6 for an autism charity event. Oh, that's awesome, Todd. I like Peerless Rye. Anyone had the double oak rye? Yeah, this is pretty good. I think this is available still on, I don't know if it hit Sealbox, Bourbon Outfitter, or wherever it is. This might be available, guys, if you want to check it out. But it is a $200 price point. But this is probably one of the more unique Kelvin collabs and one of the better ones I think we've had in a little bit. So good job, Forgate. All right, guys, it is, oh shit, 10:33, perfect timing. It's time. It is time for a blind challenge from Mr. Darren Clary. We're just going to keep trying some whiskeys here tonight. So I don't know if you guys saw Matt's video from Matt Madness on, kind of throwing your hat in the ring to see if you want to, get voted on to be part of the competition. I'm still wondering if I can do it, but if I do, I've been asking for people to send me blind tastings so I could be ready here, but we'll see. Big Vic says, you rang and I heard, was that peanut butter? So Jason, Springfield smells like a storyteller. Corn nut, cinnamon, tastes pretty sweet and kind of light, spicy, linger finish, decent, but feels it's missing something. All right, so why? See, Kenneth, I generally trust your palate, so for you to say that, I don't feel like I'm getting these like amazing vibes that a lot of people were telling me, like Springfield was so good. That's why I'll probably need a sample. Forgate price has kept me away. They really worth it. Bob Glass, to me, I always tell people, Forgate has certain releases that are really, really good. Not all of them are home runs. They're not all worth $200. And I even tell Bob and Bill from Forgate this all the time. The way that they finish their whiskeys, the price points that they have, I think each release is geared towards a certain type of palate. It's just gonna, figure out if it lines up with your palate or not. It's not a brand where I would say you have to buy every release. That is the furthest thing from the truth. But I do think if you're going to spend money on a Forgate just to try it, the Kelvin collaborations are usually the ones, more often than not, that are the most layered, the most complex, and the most interesting. The other ones, and I would say this also about their Port Peri Peri Rye, that thing is probably one of the best ryes I've had in a long time from Forgate. I don't know if they plan on that. That's a port finish rye whiskey that is unbelievably good. So they have specific releases that have absolutely been grand slams, but then they have releases that have just been, base hits. They're good. Some people love the split stave offerings. Some people go crazy for those. I've never really been a fan of those because I think it kind of brings you that toasted vibe that I'm not that crazy about. So it just depends on your palate. But if you're gonna spend the money on a Forgate to start, I would go with the Kelvin Collab. Those to me are the safest bets. 2 and 3 still might be my favorite. 2 and 3 Kelvin Collab are amazing. I would have to see how this one would stack up when I get my bottle. But all right, so we have a blind tasting from Mr. Darren Clary. A, B, C, D. A, C. Can't do my letters. All right, so let's get these poured. Definitely prefer Storyteller and Charlie's. It might be closer to Shiny Barrel, but it's been a while. Okay. If it's Shiny Barrel, that doesn't really impress me too much. All right, so while I'm pouring this, let me tell you guys a little bit about my trip to Texas last week. I was there Thursday and Friday. Quick trip to Austin. Great city. So got a chance to head to Rebecca Creek. If you guys have never been to Rebecca Creek, it's a very small distillery. It's a very small operation, but they've been getting a lot of notoriety in the whiskey world because they've been putting out these Spanish oak double-barreled bourbons, and people have been absolutely loving them. So Mash and Journey Whiskey Club got a chance to do one, and I think it's one of the first ones they've done outside of the state of Texas. So we're really excited to actually have that designation that our club is going to get, be one of the first ones, if not the first one, to get a bottle outside of the state of Texas. So we had 4 barrels to choose from. These are 4-year-old MGP that was aged in Spanish oak from the beginning. Then they take that 4-year-old whiskey and they dump it in a new American oak barrel for another 2 years. So it's a little over 6 years with that double barrel finish, which includes the Spanish oak. And this thing is straight up maple syrup, chocolate, orange, spice, dark fruit. It is all over the map, and we love it. So Mark and Kim Schwartz, who are good friends of the channel and patrons, they came along and they helped us pick this barrels. They actually helped us make the connection to it. So thank you again to Mark and Kim for doing that for us. Then the following day, finally got to go to Still Austin. Still Austin is amazing. Not only the you always hear about Still Austin, how great their whiskey is, and it is great. But the hospitality and everything they have going on there is incredible. We really enjoyed it. We got to choose. They let us have 7 different barrels, right, that we tried. Kim and Mark, if you're in the chat, you can help me. You can remember. Jason C., I'm picking up a Rebecca Creek Spec Store exclusive double barrel on Monday when I go to Texas. Hell yeah, Mr. Mom. You will love it. So the Still Austin bottles that we got to try, I asked them, I'm like, can you roll out some butterscotch bombs for us? And they did. So we picked a butterscotch bomb, toffee bomb, like type of whiskey. And then we picked another barrel that was like this. It was reminiscent of like an Elijah Craig barrel proof, a lot of spice, a lot of punch up front, but a lot of oak and even some dark fruit. But then it finished with that butterscotch on the back end. It was delicious. So we got those 2 barrels. They have one of the tallest stills I've ever seen. It's named, if you go to distillers, they name their stills. And this one is named Nancy. A lot of people think it's named after Nancy Fraley because she consulted there. And that's really not the case at all. It's actually named after the 50-foot woman. If you've ever seen the movie, The Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, the woman that was 50 feet that was attacking was named Nancy. And this still, I think, is about 50 feet high, and they named it after that Nancy, not Nancy Fraley. It's kind of a happy coincidence. So there you go. Yeah, we tried 7 different barrels at Still Austin. Yeah, it was. He introduced 2 more at the end, number 6 and number 7, and we were really intrigued by 6. But after we kept going back and forth, we liked the 2 that we had picked better. And we got to talk to John, the master distiller, who just was a wealth of information. And he actually got to try a Rebecca Creek pick because Kim and Mark had bought a bottle while they were there because our pick is actually already bottled. They had to take it out of the cask. And he freaking loved it. He's like, this thing is insane. So we were really happy. He got to he kind of told us like why their stuff stands out more than anybody else's, which I thought was really cool. They really base it on the type of grain they use. They think their grain is super high quality for Texas. And then they also believe that this continuous still that they use is really the key to their to their success. They also have a very low entry proof into the cask, which I think helps with that hot Texas weather. So I highly recommend if anyone's near still Austin in Austin, Texas, to definitely go check it out. All right, so this is the first envelope from Darren Clary, and he writes, open this before the blind. And, oh, Jesus, I have like a chart. Oh, my God, dude. What the hell are you giving me here? Okay, proof, age, state of distillation, bottle guess. Oh, my God. Okay, this is serious here. All right, guys, let's see how I do. See how I do over here. And then the answers are here, open after the blind. So this should be fun, guys. Got to try the Still Austin Ruby Red Port Rye tonight. Wow. Sorry, Jason, I hopped on late. Did you say what you like better, the Hellraiser or the Forgate? I actually think I like the Forgate a little better between the two. But that Hell, I don't know, man. I do like the Hell Diver too. They're both very different. You have like a chocolate fruit bomb, and then you have like a peanut butter and cherry like sandwich type deal. So just watched the replay of last year's Matt Madness. Stoked to cheer you on again. Literally spit my drink out when y'all went off about cheating. When y'all went off about cheating. I know. That was crazy. People thought we were. I think that was just one guy like stirring us up, but I'm like, yeah, how can we cheat? Like he literally sends them like sealed in like wrappers, and he sent the final flight in a safe last year. I mean, come on. People can be dumb. All right. I'm 20 minutes from Still Austin, and today getting the latest Nancy single barrel pick. Yeah, we just missed that one, unfortunately. All right, guys. Let's see how I do here tonight. We got the first super chat of the night. Thank you so much, Adam. Showing some love. Appreciate it, man. $4.99. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. The first super chat of the night comes through. I appreciate it, man. And for that, you are my champion. You're Rudy. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it, man. Concrete shoes. 4 different ER picks. Oh yeah, my shoes. That reminds me. Tonight I am wearing the Nike, the Jordan 1 Lows, and these are the Year of the Dragon. The Year of the Dragon Jordan 1 Lows. I think this is a very underrated sneaker that released this year. I love this shoe. Little gold, dark red. You have kind of like the dragon scale texture on the front. I love these. I love them. These are one of the ones I got lucky on when actually these didn't even sell out. So when I bought these, they were pretty easy to get. So I love those sneakers. Light from the patio. He comes in a super chat. Love the channel. I'm not Rudy. Woo pig. Okay, you're not Rudy. You're Arkansas. I'll give you the old how about I give you Buddy?
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Thanks so much, Life on the Patio. Guys, go subscribe to Life from the Patio. There you go. And, okay, those shoes remind me of Spumoni. Spumoni, says Mr. Chicks. All right, here we go. All right, so there's no nosing questions here. I just have to taste them and go. Okay. Here we go, guys. Let's see how I do. Can tell you it smells like Heaven Hill. Those look like Grinch's sneakers. Proof on this is not high, especially coming off the other one. Good spice here. It's always between Jim Beam and Heaven Hill for me when you get into like that nuttiness note. Damn. Is that Heaven Hill or Jim Beam? Well, I mean, with that, I'm going to say it's 100 proof. I'm going to say it's 100 proof. Prescription bourbon, by the way, I do have the Blendageddon prizes that will be going out to you. Just took me a while to curate them. Everything like took forever to get here. So I will send all those out to you soon. All right, I'm going to say 100 proof. Age, I'm going to say, doesn't seem that old. Maybe it's got some good oak to it. It is nutty. Yeah, guys, if you haven't yet, please hit the like button below. If you're just hanging out and you forgot, please do. And if you haven't told your friends yet about the Mash and Drum, please do. Also, guys, I do want to let you know I do have some of these hats left. If you guys are interested, you can head over to mashanddrum.square.site.com and grab one of these hats. I still have these gray and with the white patch available, which you see right here. The olive green ones are awesome. My favorite is probably over here, this khaki one right here. I love that one. And I'm running low on this. The black leather patch has been another favorite. So if you guys want to represent the Mash and Drum, the link is down in the description of the video. You can go to the Square site and grab yourself a hat. They're about $35. I'm shipping them on my own. So that includes shipping and everything. So all you have to do is just pay for the hat. So cheers and thanks for the support, guys. Here's that's a close-up of the khaki one. That's the olive one. That's the black one. The gray and black that's getting low. Actually, you have a good amount of those. This is the one that's getting low. This one's almost sold out. So there you go. Thanks. Cheers for that. More Char 5, please. Yeah, I'll get more of those made. All right, age on this one. I'm gonna say. I'm going to give it a good 7. I'm going to give it a good 7. State of distillation, I'm going to say Kentucky. Bottle guess. It tastes like Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond to me. I'm going to say it's Heaven Hill. B-I-B. I'm going all in. Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond. All right, let's go to sample B. Not getting much off of this one. This one's going to be a little bit problematic here. Yes, Ahmad can throw a link in the chat. If you guys want to copy the link to the hats and throw it in the chat, go for it. This one's a little grainy. It smells youthful. Let's give this one a try. Big Vic. Don't put that one in there. There's none of those left. What the hell are you doing? Bad mod. Big Vic, bad mod. Cheech Artolino, good mod. He put the right link in there. Big Vic is sending you the ones that are sold out. I feel like this is also, man, is this 100 proof or lower? I'm going to say this is 100 proof as well. Is this a bourbon, a wheater, or a rye? I mean, it drinks easy like a wheater, but I don't know if that's a wheater. I'm not getting that wheat funk. I'm going to say it's a bourbon. Is it finished? That's tough. Does that have a finish on it or not? I'm going to say yes. There's a very distinct fruit-forward thing going on there. And maybe that could be the bourbon, but I don't know. In a bourbon that low proof, I'm thinking that there's something else going on. Bottle guess. I have no idea what the bottle guess on that is. What the hell would that be? This is the problem. Me looking around my my whiskey room. I have no idea what the hell that would be. I might have to come back to that one. Let me let that one open up a little bit. All right. Third sample. Let's go with proof again here. Woo! That's a huge punch and proof. Huge punch and proof. That's high 120s at least. Jesus. That's BS, Jason. Would you choose that 2 Soul there or ported pumpernickel single barrel rye cast from Middle West? Both are still available, so I'm wondering. Damn, CJ. I don't know, man. Here's the thing. The ported pumpernickel rye comes out every year. However, that, I don't know if we'll ever see that again. I don't know if we'll see a double oaked pumpernickel rye again. So take that what you will. Vic, you're fired. Hey guys, we got to do a question of the day. What do we got for a question of the day here? Top 5, whatever. Give me a question of the day. Let's go. Holy hell. That thing is hot. I'm going to say 130 proof on that thing. Dear Lord. Age on that? Top 5 mash and drum hats. The Char 5, definitely my favorite. Then the khaki coffee. Then the olive. Then this one. And then the... oh, no. No. Sorry. Char 5, khaki coffee, black with leather. Then this one, then the olive. Those are my 5. Top 5 worst. Devin, can we talk about the NFL draft and what the hell the Falcons were thinking? What the fuck? Man, that's good. Age on this, I'm going to say at 130 proof, I never like to go too high of a age because usually when something is that high of proof, it doesn't usually have a big age on it unless it's a light whiskey or something. And this is not giving me light whiskey vibes. I don't know. I'll say 8 years on this one. Bourbon, wheater, or rye? It's so high proof. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I'm going to say bourbon. Bottle guess, 130 proof? What the hell? It's very, very sweet, though. Like, it's not giving me, like, Stag or Elijah Craig barrel proof vibes. Like, what the hell is that? Jesus. Starter jackets. There were really only 4 legit ones. As far as the pullovers went, Breakaway, Rocket Sideline. You also had I had a Chicago Bulls and a New York Knicks. Like, talk about, like, trying to get beat up at school. I had my New York Knicks starter jacket, and then I had a Chicago Bulls one because I love Jordan. So, top 5 sheet thread counts. Listen, you got to go at least 700 on the on the thread count. You got to go at least that amount. Yeah, I'm gonna still say, what the hell is that? I don't know what that is. I don't have a bottle guess for that. For that type of proof, that's got to be, I don't know. I said bourbon. I don't think it's a rye. That one's puzzling. I'll go back to that one. Let's go to sample D. Excuse me. Oh, this one's my jam. Very sweet. I was a store manager back in the day for them. Jason, did you put this in alphabetical order? Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F. That one's weird. I think that's 120. I'm going to go up $1. I'm going to say 121 proof. Age on that. State of distillation. I think that's about 9 years old. I'm going to say Tennessee. I'm going to guess that's a Jack barrel proof on that one. I got Jack barrel proof vibes on that. For sure. All right. Sample E. Top 5 poster girls. That's kind of funny. Yeah. I'll tell you what, the first girl that I had a poster of, and I don't know if you guys remember who she is. Do you guys remember Samantha Fox back in the day? The blonde rock singer back in the 80s. I want to have some fun. Yep. Samantha Fox. Samantha Fox. Yeah, that was the first poster like girl I had in my room. Samantha friggin' Fox. Yeah. She was my first. And that was before like Kelly Kapowski and Alyssa Milano. Like I was in love with Samantha. Like Samantha. Like I love Kelly Kapowski. All right. I remember Samantha Fox. She was kind of trashy hot. Yeah, she was kind of like a blonde leather jacket. I don't know. I was into it. Joan Jett. My first poster was Kathy Ireland. My mom's name was also Kathy. I turned out normal, says Darren Clare. Darren, I have nothing to say about that. All right, let's try this one here. That tastes familiar. I'm going to need a couple more sips of that. That is, I believe, like right in that 100, maybe like a 107. I'll give it like a 107 proof. Something like that. That tastes familiar. What are the questions here? Finished? I don't think it's finished. I don't think this is finished. If it is, it's not a great finish. Man, what the hell is that? It is sweet. It's very sweet, low proof, good spice. I feel like I've tasted this before. Elle McPherson. Let's see. I'm a bit younger, so Jennifer Garner or Electra did things to the teenager in me. Yeah, I could see Electra. This has a flavor that I know what the hell it is, but I can't place it. I feel like it's a Brown-Forman product, but I can't. It's giving me like that flavor. Is that Brown-Forman? Is it Michter's? That one's tough. As far as age goes, what could that be? I don't know. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that old. You know what? I'll say like 9 years old on that bottle guess. I don't know. I'm just gonna say it's a Brown-Forman product. That's all. I don't know what. That one's tough. Unless it's a. Is it Weller? Is it like a Weller bottle? I'm gonna write Weller there too, just to see what it is. All right, last one here, guys. Carmen Electra will be my first. All right, let's try this one here. All right, we're going back down, I think, on proof. That one's weird. That has like a barbecue potato chip vibe. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh no, that went away. It's not barbecue potato chips anymore. Oh, I'll go 100 proof for this too, but I think that's a rye. I think that's a rye. Is it finished? I think it is. I think it is a finished rye. There's something going on with that rye. I think it's the Toasted Michter's rye. All right. I think I'm set. I got to just try to bottle guess two of these. So 2 and 3. Quick shots in the dark here to bottle guess. I don't know. Is that like Benchmark Bottle and Bond or something? I'll just take a shot in the dark here. It's very sweet. So I'm just going like a Buffalo Trace Barton product. Let's go to 3 here. That's the proof monster. I don't know what that is. Holy shit. That thing is hot. Yeah, and I don't know what that is. I would have a hard time. I'm actually curious to know what that is, because that thing is drinking very, very strong, and I'm trying to think. I mean, guys, put it in the chat. What stuff that you find that's like 130 proof? But it's not light whiskey. I don't think it's light whiskey. It's not sweet enough to be light whiskey. It doesn't come off like a stag. I don't think it's Elijah Craig barrel proof. If it is, I'd be very surprised. Yeah. Oh yeah. This might be too dark to be Benchmark. That's actually a good call. But his drink's so light. There's not a lot going on with number 2 at all. That's actually a good call out. I'll go with that. I'm going to say Old Forester barrel proof pick. Yep. I'm going to go with that. All right. Let's see how I did, guys. Let's see how I did. Again, real quick, before I read the answers, guys, please, if you haven't yet, go check out the Bourbon Derby, the tribute to Mr. Chris Krentz and his memorial fund. Guys, just check out the prize list. Go to the Facebook page, check it out, and definitely remember $10 a ticket. It's not a lot, but you can raise some money there and help them out. And again, you do not have to be present to win the bottles. So any bottles that you win, if you happen to win, are curated, and then they will contact you if you want anything. So, all right, let's see how I did, or how bad I did. All right, here we go. Oh, he straight up filled him in. All right, here are the answers. So sample A, I guessed 100 proof. It's 100 proof on the dot. I guessed 7 years. It's 12 years. I guessed Kentucky. It's Kentucky. I said it was either Heaven Hill or Knob Creek or Jim Beam, and it's Jim Beam. It's a Knob Creek 12-year. So that makes a lot of sense. Damn it. This is the Knob Creek 12-year. Yeah, I should have went older. I had a feeling, man. Damn it. All right, let's go to sample B. I said this one was also 100 proof. It's 100 proof. I said it was a bourbon. It is a bourbon. I said it was, did I say it was finished? I had yes, then I wrote no, and it's no. And this is Cooper's Craft 100. How did I not guess that? I said benchmark. I forgot about Cooper's Craft. All right, so I'm kind of nailing it except for the bottle guesses here. Bottle guesses are tough. All right, sample C. I said 130 proof. This is 125.6. This is, what did I say? 8 years old. It's 12. Oh, shit. It was an Elijah Craig barrel proof. This is Elijah Craig barrel proof. See, I went too high in the proof, and that threw me off. Bourbon, ECBP A123, put Old Forester barrel proof. I mean, it's right there, except for the age. Yeah, actually, why did I guess Old Forester barrel proof? Because I know those are not 8 years old. Again, these are like the details I got to start remembering when I'm doing this shit. Okay. Let's see. Sample D. I said 120 proof. It's 118, so I'm right there. Age on this one is 4 years, 11 months. I said 8 years. State of distillation, I wrote Tennessee. It's actually Indiana. And this is bare knuckle single barrel bourbon. And I would have never guessed that. Never guessed that in a million years. I said Jack barrel proof. Wow. Sample E. I said 107 proof. It's 110. I said the age on it is let's see here. I said it's not finished. I said age. I wrote down 10, and it's 17. That's the Hardins Creek Claremont. Wow. Are you serious? Yeah, I taste it now. It's that oak, man. That has a deep, rich oak. I was getting oak confused with like that toasted note. Shit. Let's go to the next one. Sample F. I said 100 proof. It's 96.6. Finished. I said yes. It is finished. I said it's a rye. It is a rye. The bottle guess I did was Michter's Toasted. It's actually Sagamore Spirit Double Oaked. All right. That last one gave me hope. Actually did pretty good on that. So I tended to get, man, the ages. I got to work on ages, man. If there's anything I got to work on, it's getting the ages of these whiskeys. Because some of these just don't taste that old to me, but they are. That's crazy. Send in that video. Let's see. All right, so didn't do too bad. Let's see. Balcones, Old Forester, Jack Daniel, Old Forester, Barrel Proof is a good call. JD, Old Forester Blue Label, Benchmark, Coy Hill. Definitely wasn't Coy Hill. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I definitely want to thank Darren Clary for sending this. This is a really fun blind tasting. I felt like I was in the ballpark on a lot of these, but there's definite work to do if I plan on going back. Last year when I did the competition, I was doing blind tastings at least every other day and kind of training my palate. And obviously I need to get better with the age thing is, I think, what killed me last year in the finals against Dan. I thought they were younger than they were. And yeah, that's what got me. So I think ages for me. Proof, I feel like I have nailed. State of distillation is always kind of a crapshoot. But as far as like proof and rye versus bourbon versus finish, I feel like I'm pretty good. The ages I need to work on. So stuff like this helps me out. If you guys have a blind tasting you want to send me, shoot me a message at themashanddrum@gmail.com. These are always fun to do with you guys. Really appreciate everyone watching. Go help out Chris Krentz and the Memorial Fund with his Bourbon Derby. Go check it out on Facebook. Thanks for watching. Next week, I will not be live. I will be traveling. I'll be in Colorado for a work trip, and that should be my last trip for a little while. So I will not see you next week here on Wednesday, but stay tuned for tomorrow and Friday. Friday, we're going to be putting this Jim Beam bottle, this Jim Beam Black, which I really like, up against some of my other favorite budget bourbons. So You're going to have to find out who takes it. So cheers. Love you guys. And I'll see you next time right here on the Master and Drum. Cheers.